Hey, Mom. How are you? You have a bit of time? I'm contacting you just so you know. You might like to know. I'm going to get married soon. We have no plans to go on any kind of honeymoon, at least for now. Just a simple wedding, and that's it. We're just going to have an intimate dinner with close friends, and I'm sorry to say, it won't include you or my brother. I'll continue to send money to you, as I said I would, but I want you to know, I don't ever plan to return home. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's all I was contacting you about. Nothing more to add, so talk to you again. See ya, Mom.
Hold on 1 second, Pam! Are you kidding me? I haven't heard from you in years, and suddenly here you are telling me you're getting married and you're not inviting us? And what's this about getting married? You can't just go off and get married. Who the hell gave you permission to do that? I don't recall ever allowing you to get married, for God's sake.
I'm sorry, Mom, but I don't need your permission to get married. That's my prerogative. I marry when I want to. You have no say in it. Please, just stay out of this. This does not concern you. What do you care if I get married or not?
Am I hearing you right? You're my daughter. I cannot allow you to get married without my permission. I will decide the time and place. And who is this guy anyway? Some loser you recently picked up? You are not marrying this guy.
What the hell is wrong with you, Mom? You never cared for me. You left me to fend for myself for all these years. Why all of a sudden concern? Would you just stay out of it and let me go on with my life?
Don't you dare talk back to me. I will not allow you to get married or have this silly dinner of yours and no future honeymoon. I demand that you break up with this loser guy you picked up and do it ASAP. Cut this guy clean out of your life. You'll thank me for it someday.
Oh boy, what did I get myself into? What was I thinking? I never should have contacted you and just gotten married, and that would have been the end of it.
How dare you say that? How could you not tell your mother? Have you forgotten that I raised you? All the years that I devoted my life to you?
Devoted your life to me? Did I hear you right? Don't make me laugh, Mom. The only person you devoted your life to was Brad. Your perfect son was the only person important to you. Maybe not so perfect. He's still unemployed and living at home, isn't he? You certainly raised him right. You keep referring to me as your daughter, but am I really? To me, it just seems like Brad is your only child. I used to come home from school and there would only be enough supper for Brad and nothing for me. You'd always tell me to get by on my own. Paddle your own canoe is what you always used to say. You never prepared anything for me. I had to wash my own clothes for school. The books I needed, I bought with the money I made with my part-time job. Did you ever once celebrate my birthday or my graduation? It was always an afterthought. You treated me with disdain all these years. And now you're acting like some caring mother? Please, spare me.
Acting like a caring mother? I am your mother. That's a fact. I only treated you that way to build your character so that you can stand on your own. You should be thanking me. Do you think I enjoyed it? I did it out of love. I'm disappointed in you, Pam. How could you think that about your mother? Come on, Mom, don't give me that baloney story. You always favored Brad. You'd cook and clean for him. You were stuck to him like glue. Whether it was Christmas, a birthday, Halloween, or any other event, you always had a present ready for him. He was spoon-fed when he was a baby, and he's spoon-fed now. You know what, Mom? I never once received clothes from you. Ever. It was always Dad and Grandma that looked after me, that bought me what I needed for school. You're always bringing up stuff from the past. Would you please stop with the belly aching? You've always had this sharp-tongued attitude ever since you were a child. Sharp-tongued attitude? Me? No way. It's your attitude that was the problem. Why do you think I left home when I was only still in junior high? And wasn't it about the same time that Dad left you? Please, don't compare me to him. How could you say that, Pam? We kinda got sidetracked, it seems. Mom, just butt out, would you? I don't want you meddling in my affairs. I will continue to call you Mom just out of habit, but know this. I never once thought of you as my mother. You didn't earn that respect from me. I don't care what you think. I don't need your permission to get married. End of story. I will keep saying this, but I will not permit you to get married. This loser is not for you. Cut him out of your life or you'll regret it. Why are you so against me marrying the guy I love? You sound like you have someone else ready. Is that what you're suggesting? You're not as dumb as I thought. Yes, there is someone I have ready for you. I took the initiative of selecting your new husband. I have it all arranged with Dennis Manning. He's your new husband. I have already arranged for a meeting with him and his family. When can you get down here? Hold on one second, Mom. Back in a bit. Are you telling me you want me to marry Dennis Manning? The Mannings that own all that property near you? The big property owner? You want me to marry Dennis? That fat, hairy slob? The guy who always has something nasty to say? You must be joking. That's right, that Dennis. I'm surprised you remember. I ran into him the other day and he mentioned that he was thinking of getting married. His wife passed away 5 years ago and he was worried he would have to manage all that property alone. That's when I suggested that he marry you. And I have to say, he wasn't all that turned off by the suggestion. Lucky you, huh? So I immediately arranged for a meeting downtown. Dennis is all in and ready. When can you be here? That's why this marriage of yours is not going to happen. You're out of your mind, Mother. I wish you wouldn't make plans for me like that. What gives you the right to manipulate my life? There is no way that I'm marrying that fat slob. Have you totally lost it? Are you serious? This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He owns all that property. You're set for life. We won't ever have to worry about money again. Think about it, Pam. You marry him, and after a few years, he passes, and all that property will be ours. How could you pass that up? Your brother finally got a job last month, but having that much property, we'll be set. I mean, really, Pam, how could you fail to take advantage of that? You don't care doodly squat about me. It's all about the money, isn't it? This whole thing only benefits you and Brad, as it is with everything else. This has nothing whatsoever to do with me. It doesn't matter whether I'm happy or not. I'm sorry, Mother, but you're not going to get your way this time, or ever again, for that matter. I have zero intention of returning home or quitting my job. And I have zero aspiration of marrying that person. What are you, Pam? Still 5 years old? This is your future we're talking about. The road to happiness for any woman is to marry a rich guy and become a housewife. But most of all, it's to be a good daughter and show loyalty to her mother. That's why I'm telling you to marry this man. He may be over 50 and twice your age, but think of the rewards it will bring. I think you need to be institutionalized. Do you really think I would marry a fat 50-year-old slob for you and Brad? And no doubt this is about you guys. I don't figure in this little scheme of yours. No, Mom, I'm going to pass on this. I've really had enough of this. I can't listen to any more of this nonsense. Don't ever contact me again. Do you hear me?
Hey, Pam, now why'd you have to go and do that? Mom is super pissed. You always seem to piss her off royally. Why be so stubborn? I really wish you would cut the crap.
Huh? Pardon me, what's this got to do with you?
It's got everything to do with me. What are you talking about? After that line conversation with you, she really fell into a depression. She was so hysterical, she didn't even make me dinner last night. I had to pop down to McDonald's for some chicken nuggets. I just returned from drinking with my buddies and was hoping for some of Mom's beef stew. She just went on and on about you. She didn't stop harping on it till well after midnight. Just apologize to her. Give her a call or send her a text or something, would ya? She won't stop making an issue of it.
Wait, you want me to apologize? Are you kidding me? Why would I do that? She's the one that ignored my feelings and went ahead and arranged this kooky marriage with that old Manning guy. The guy's like my father, for God's sake, and she wants me to marry the guy? She's nuts. This is all about the guy's property and money, period. She has no interest in me.
She's just so worried about you. You're not all that pretty and you don't really have any skills to write home about. She's worried for you. Stop being so stubborn and just say thank you and accept a proposal. That's all you have to do. Why be so pig-headed? Why do you always have to go out of your way to make Mom cry, for Pete's sake?
Don't give me this big long lecture, Brad. Who the hell do you think you are? You have no right lecturing me. After all, who sent money every month so that you could live comfortably all these years?
I wasn't living comfortably. I was looking for a job. It was just bad timing. The job market was a mess back then. You do realize I went to graduate school, right? I could get any job if I really wanted. And just so you know, I had a whole slew of offers, but I turned them down. I was overqualified for those positions.
Oh yeah, I bet they were banging your door down, I'm sure. I remember you got that one job at the PC shop, but quit after a month. Said you needed time to study or some such nonsense.
Keep ranting and raving, Pam. That's all you're good at. Anyways, I already got a new job. Didn't Mom tell you? It's not a big company, but they are growing and business is good. When my application goes through the final step and I get to work, it will grow expeditiously. That's for certain. Not something you, a high school dropout, can say. I'll double your salary within the year!
Oh, big talk, huh? Just don't quit in a month. Good luck.
Anyway, we're straying off point. Just text or call Mom and apologize. And tell her you'll accept her offer of marriage. This could set you up for life, Pam. I would give it a serious thought. This kind of chance doesn't come every day. I suggest you take it.
Like I told Mom, I already decided who to marry, and it's not Dennis Manning. I'm engaged, and that's the only person I want to marry. That's final. I will never meet or marry Mr. Manning. Maybe Mom should marry him, huh?
I'm telling you, Pam, you're going to regret marrying this loser. You'll be back begging Mom to arrange a meeting. It may be too late by then. An ugly little high school dropout like you would just get dumped eventually. I would take this offer if I were you, Pam. You'd be set for life if you marry this rich dude. Mark my words. It would make Mom super happy. What more is there?
You have no idea what kind of a person my fiancé is, and I wish you would stop making my life decisions for me. I couldn't care less what you guys say. You will not manipulate my life. I marry who I choose, nobody else.
This is getting nowhere, for God's sakes. Nobody wants to hear your pea-brain excuses, Pam. Just do as you're told, would ya? You really have the nerve disobeying us after all we've done for you? You marry this guy, and all you'll end up doing is staying at home to cook and clean while he goes chasing girls.
This is the thanks I get for sending you guys money all these years? Where's the gratitude for that?
Sending us money? You mean the peanuts you were sending us? That? We didn't even need that. That was just pocket change. That's all you can do, Pam. Work your butt off and send us a few pennies each month. What are you good for? You should be grateful to us. We're giving you an opportunity to redeem yourself. A chance to live a comfortable life. No longer will you have to work all day and bring home pennies. All you need to do is bow your head and be the obedient little sister and daughter.
All right. I see where you're coming from. Okay. Have it your way.
Have I finally gotten through to that thick head of yours? You're so dense, I never thought it possible. All right, then. Let's get this marriage on the road, then.
Wait a sec, Brad. I wasn't agreeing on the marriage. What I was acknowledging was the fact that cockroaches like you have to be eradicated.
Cockroaches? You're going to regret that remark, Pam.
Yeah, whatever. So, the monthly payments? You didn't need it at all? Just mere pennies, huh? Okay. That means your new job at that firm? Forget it ever happened.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? What's this have to do with my job?
Everything, actually. I'm so sorry about this. I know you were looking forward to working at that firm. I'll contact them and rescind the application. Say you found another job or something. Good luck trying to find another job. I hear the job market is super tough now. But you went to graduate school, so I'm sure you'll manage.
Pam, I have no friggin' idea what you're talking about. You have nothing to do with this new job I got.
That's where you're mistaken, Brad.
The hell are you talking about?
That company you applied to? I own that company.
Hold it a second, what?
As you probably remember, I left home right after dropping out of high school. You probably thought I just started working, but actually I went on to finish high school through night classes and online, and I also managed to graduate from college. I paid for everything through a scholarship and a part-time job. Plus, Dad helped me out quite a bit too.
This is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
That company you applied to? I set up that company while still in college. After graduating, it really took off and still growing. I accepted your application because, well, call it helping a relative. I really don't know what I was thinking. I figured I had a duty to my brother, but I guess I was delusional. I was going to cut all financial assistance to you guys after getting married, but I couldn't just let my brother be unemployed. Figured you guys needed some income, not the pennies I was sending. So I asked HR to accept your application. I established another company, so I'll be tied up over there for a while. And I was going to sell the company after a year. Figured we would never meet, and you probably wouldn't find out I owned the company. But turns out my plans were all for naught. I'm going to have to call HR and rescind your application.
Hold it a second. Is this some kind of sick joke? What are you trying to pull here, Pam? None of this makes any sense. How could you own a company, for Pete's sake? That makes you the CEO of that company? Now that's a riot.
You know what, Brad? I don't give a darn if you believe me or not. I'll contact you about the cancellation of the job application in a few days. What reason should I give? That you insulted the company CEO or something like that? What do you think? Oh yeah, I was contemplating sending you guys money for a couple more years if necessary, but the end of this month will be the final payment, just so you're aware. Oh, and for your information, I was paying all your utilities like gas and electricity. That's not my responsibility anymore, so you guys handle it from now on, okay? I have the means, of course, but I couldn't be bothered with handling all expenses for you guys. I'm really sorry about all this. I tried. I really did. You're the one with all the brains in the family, right? Good college and graduate school. You'll figure something out, I'm sure.
Hold it a sec, Pam. Not so fast. You can't just cancel my application or cut all support to us? Are you serious? How are we supposed to live? Tell me that!
That's your job, Brad, not mine. You're the eldest. I only have the skill to cook and keep house, right? Oh my, I don't know what I should do, Brad. Please help me.
This is not a joke, Pam. Are you going to abandon us? Leave us to fend for ourselves?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. You guys never had any love for me. You didn't care if I lived or died, to be frank. So why shouldn't I abandon you, right? All right, let's cut this short, shall we? I have to head over to HR and get this done. Goodbye, Brad. Have a nice life, and good luck. Pam, pick up, would you? Pam! What's this about stopping payment? And about Brad's new job? What's with that? What's going on? Oh, that was pretty fast. So you heard it all from Brad then? I'm sure he explained everything in detail. It's as he explained it. I'm fed up with your self-centered ways. I tried to accommodate you, but it just didn't work out. I've decided to cut all family ties with you guys, but to be honest, there really were no real ties to cut to begin with. And with that, I do not plan to continue further support to you and Brad. After all, you're no longer family. Why send money to total strangers, right? As for Brad's job application, I pulled some strings to get him in, but now that's ancient history. That's the gist of it, Mom. Satisfied? Hold it 1 second, Pam. You're not getting away with this. I will not allow you to do such a thing. I demand that you pay the support money and get Brad's application back on track again. Like I said, I have no intention of getting your permission for anything. You're not my boss, you're not my mother, you're nothing to me. I hope you have fun living there with no electricity or gas, but then again, you get to live there with your favorite unemployed son. Good luck with that. I don't care what you do going forward. Sell the house or whatever. I have no intention of getting involved. Figure it out yourselves. Please, Pam, hold it a second, please. Let's talk this over. Please, don't cut me off. I apologize. It was all my fault. Please, forgive me. Please, Mother? I know you don't mean that. When was the last time you ever apologized? No need to put on this big act. I know you, Mom. You're a phony. It's no act, I assure you. So please. I apologize for all I said. You don't have to marry this Dennis guy, so please, let's talk. I'm truly sorry. I mean it. I really hope you'll forgive me, Pam. Please, I mean it. From the bottom of my heart. I'll do anything you ask. Please don't abandon me. Help your mother out, for God's sake. I don't think of you as my mother. You never did anything for me that a real mother would do. You're the one that abandoned me years ago. Please, Pam, don't say that. I doubt we'll ever meet again. I wish you guys the best. Good luck. After that conversation, I immediately deleted their addresses. I also changed my phone and number so they would never contact me again. I was also paying their smartphone bills too, so I terminated those. I also got rid of the bank account I had set up for them to receive monthly funds. As for my marriage, that went without a hitch, and we moved into our new home a few days ago. I'm sure my mom and Brad are in a panic right about now. Their smartphones are no longer working and their bank account has been depleted. And soon the lights will go out in their home. But can you really feel pity for them after how they treated me? With all that befalling them, Brad's non-existent job, the useless smartphones, the empty bank account, and the utility bills, they came to my company begging me for help. Of course, I was not there, but because of the commotion they caused, the police were eventually called. But before they arrived, they realized their predicament and took off with their tails between their legs. Last I heard, they were blaming each other for the dire situation that they got themselves in. I can't understand why they don't pull up their bootstraps and start working. After a couple of months, we finally settled down and had a nice wedding celebration at a nearby restaurant. My father, my grandmother, and a number of close friends were in attendance. My needs are very simple, and I'm totally happy with that. I should have cut ties with them a long time ago.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Vicky. How many days has it been since you started to ignore me? If you really start to think about it, you only started to act this way towards me once my mother passed away and we went to her funeral. How much longer are you going to act this way towards me, Vicky? Well, anyway, today is the last day on my break from work before I have to go back in and start again. So don't expect me to be home tomorrow during the day, as I need to get back to work on all my duties. Now, good night, Vicky. Yo, Randy Sampson. It's been about a week since we last saw each other. Good morning, Tristan. Why are you calling me by my full name all of a sudden? I was pretty sure that before I left on my week off, you only ever called me by my first name, and sometimes you didn't even say my name at all. All right. You don't have to nitpick every little thing I do and say. And by the way, Randy, about you. Did you not just end up getting fired from this company? Huh? What are you talking about? I already made it clear to all my higher-ups that I'd be taking a week off for family matters, and that's why I haven't been around at all. I don't think there was ever a problem with me doing that, right? Is that right? Well, now that you mention it, am I right when I say that you were raised by only one parent, your mother? And? Well, there isn't really a deeper meaning to me asking that. I just assumed that she must have been bringing in a lot of money, and now you're going to be getting quite a bit of money from her now that she's 6 feet under. That is not the kind of thing I want to hear from anyone right now. And I'm not going to continue this conversation with you. What has gotten into you? Don't be so stingy with that money, Randy. Seriously. If you say anything more about that stuff, I'm going to have to force you to shut up. Dang. You're scaring me a little now. I have to get to work soon. See ya. Oh, Vicky. I'm sorry to be texting you while I'm at work.
Tristan?
I just had a little chat with your husband a second ago over text, and from what I can tell, he's got a massive stick up his butt right now.
Well, he's just that kind of a crappy acting man is all. I guess there was no point in trying to talk with him in the first place then. Well, I suppose I can understand, though, why he's so frustrated about everything, though. Not only did his mother just kick the can, but right after her funeral and everything, I stopped talking to him completely and have been leaving all of his texts on read. So I'm sure he has no clue what's really going on now.
Sucks to be him, right? But shouldn't you be going a little easier on the poor guy?
Why should I? Weren't you the one that told me to do all of this to him before? Wasn't it all your plan to have me start to ignore him and everything, to start weakening him and his mental strength? And then after a while, he should be willing to divorce me when he's no longer happy with me as his wife? And then the moment he leaves me, you can swoop in and take me in your arms as we both run off and start a new life, right?
That's been the plan so far.
And by the way, Tristan, what are we going to be doing today?
I have quite a bit of work to get done this morning, but if I'm able to cram all of that away, I can come out a little bit after lunch and hang outside the office. So I'll have time for you between 2 and 3 this afternoon?
Sounds good. Well, then to make sure you're out of there in time to see me, do your best this morning to get all of that work done.
Roger that. I'll see you around lunch. I had assumed today at my mom's memorial service that you and I would be able to talk to one another again, and that today would be my perfect opportunity to do that with you. But you had a mask on and told everyone that you were sick with the flu and couldn't talk to anyone. So I guess you're going to those lengths to try and avoid talking to me now. But I can't be too sure if that's your real excuse or not, because you won't ever say anything. So even after a little more than a month has gone by, we still haven't been able to fix what's wrong here. If you're thinking that by being quiet around me all the time will get me to notice the problem, I feel you should rethink your plan, because that's not going to help me notice anything. So if you still plan to be quiet around me and never reply to anything I say, then go right ahead and continue being that way. But I'm going to start handling things on my own now, even if you don't like what I choose to do. Yo, Randy. Recently you've been a bit, well, to tell you the truth, what do you want? For the last month or so now, you've been bringing in a packed lunch to eat here at work again. But before that, you have been eating out a lot or buying something from the building's cafeteria, right? This is about my lunchbox, huh? Well, ever since my mother passed away, I had been a bit busy and too busy to pack a lunch. But recently, I've been in the mood for foods that come from my home, so that's why I'm back to bringing in my lunchbox. Foods that come from home. Well, I wanted a taste of what's at home again, and that's why I chose to bring a lunchbox packed with all sorts of goodies from home. And as for saving money, this is a great way of doing it now. Bringing in packed lunches like that again out of the blue. Something doesn't seem right here. Why do you think that? Well, if you think that someone like me can't cook, and that's why this is all odd to you, you'd be surprised. As someone who's used to cooking a lot, making a simple lunch like this to bring into work is not a problem whatsoever. Uh-oh. So this is normal for you then? Cooking food at home and such? Hey, Vicky.
What's up, Tristan?
Well, about how things have been going at your house. How have things been going?
Are you trying to ask me about how things have been with Randy? I wonder about him myself sometimes. For a while, he had been trying to continue talking to me, but ever since his mother's memorial service, he's no longer been bothering me at all, and seems to be doing his own thing again. At times, he'll send me a text or something, but then proceed to delete it and tell me that he texted the wrong person. And this whole time, I've been doing exactly as you've asked me to, and that's ignore him. To put it simply, it feels as though we've both started living like we're single again in this house, even though we're technically living together. It's a bit hard to explain how that feels, but just know that I'm not doing anything with him right now.
Well, I wanted to tell you that for the last month or so, whenever he has come in for work, he's carrying a lunchbox with him.
Oh, is that so?
Which is strange, since for the longest time he'd be eating out or buying something from the cafeteria.
Is that right?
So you have no clue about what's going on there either?
Right. I have no clue what's up with that.
I see.
What's wrong with you? You seem a bit upset about something.
I'm not upset about anything. Everything's fine on my end.
Are you sure? Well, anyway, Tristan, are you going to be able to step outside your office for a little bit?
Right. I should be able to come outside for a bit. But I'll be standing outside with another coworker of mine today, so...
What, are you just pulling my leg?
Unfortunately, no. Recently, there has been a reshuffling of staff within the company, so there have been a lot of talks about what'll happen with a lot of us lower-level employees soon. So we've been talking about that a lot.
They're reshuffling the staff?
Well, as for us lower levels, it seems that pretty soon they'll be asking some of us to go overseas for work, and so that's kind of been on everyone's mind. And since everyone is so focused on that, things at work have been going a bit crazy, and the workloads have increased a bit. Even today, I'm going to have to stay an extra 2 hours to get some of the remaining work done, and it looks like my schedule is going to be full all week.
I see. So I guess we really won't be able to meet today.
When things begin to calm down around the office again, I'll give you a text or call. I'm sorry about all of this.
No worries. See you later. Hey, Tristan? You and I haven't been able to meet in over 4 months now. What's been going on with you and your work schedule? Is everything going to be okay?
Vicky?
A couple of months ago, I was able to pass by your office and wave to you whenever you were outside with your coworkers, but recently you've never come out anymore to see me. And this month, I haven't been able to see you or hear from you at all.
Well,
Tristan, is something wrong?
Well, I happened to get yelled at for taking so many breaks to go outside, and now I'm no longer being given time to take a break outside the office building.
Huh?
For the past 4 weeks, I've been stuck in this office doing boatloads of work, and I've never been able to see the light of day. And anytime I feel that I can go out for just a few minutes to taste the fresh air, I'm pulled back in by someone who needs my help, or my boss is asking me where I think I'm going. And to make things worse than they already have been, they're doing a company-wide update to all of our work phones. that will now allow them to see when we are inside the office building or outside of it. They are all watching us now, and I'll never be able to go outside again on a break when they have the application on my phone.
That's too bad.
And as for us meeting on my days off, well, that's not going to work for me.
And on those days, Randy will be at home around me. I get that he probably won't care about me leaving or anything like that when he's home, since I'm still ignoring him 100%, but there's always that chance that he might follow me or something. We cannot allow our relationship with one another to be discovered by him.
Right. I'd hate for him to find out about us and ask for a settlement in the divorce when we are getting so close to breaking him and having him divorce you and give you half of the money his mother gave to him.
Exactly. We need to make sure to keep things secret for the money. But man, I really, really, really want to meet with you.
Same here, Vicky. Vicky, I have very good news for you.
Tristan, what is it? What is it?
Starting next Wednesday until next Friday, I'll be going by myself on a business trip to New York City.
What? So that means...
That means you and I are going on a trip together. I understand that I'll still need to get some work done during the day over there, but when I get back to the hotel, it's only going to be you and me for the night. And since it's New York City, we can be out all night going to clubs and partying with each other until the sun rises the next day.
Finally! I can't wait! I can't wait!
But there's one thing. While we're on a trip, one of my favorite detective dramas will be starting its second season on TV. So during that time, I will need to spend an hour watching it when it comes on, okay?
What? You're going to say that like I'd care about you spending one single hour in front of the TV? Go right ahead. Heck, I'll even watch it together with you on your lap.
Thank you.
You've really done it now. Seriously, why would you do this to me? This all means that me ignoring you this whole dang time was for absolutely nothing.
And that's how I feel about all of this as well. I was shocked by all of that. How come that drama was talking about a situation just like ours? And how did they know all of that? Who knew that if he was to divorce you now, you wouldn't be able to get any of the money from his dead mother, because her money is only willed to be in his name and nobody else's? That means there was no point in any of this, because you won't be getting a dime in that divorce.
Think about how I feel now. I'm better off talking to Randy again now that I know we won't be getting any of that money from him. Seriously, had I known about all of this, I would have never gone out with you in the first place and would have stayed happily married to him. It's all your fault he's going to hate me now for this.
Why my fault? You're the one that started to let him leave the house with those lunch boxes all the time while you were ignoring him, which led to me feeling a bit jealous, thinking that you might still be catering to him.
Huh? What are you talking about? Are you telling me that a while back when you were asking about his lunch boxes, you thought I might be the one making them for him?
Actually, ever since that day, I've been a little doubtful of you. I have a feeling that this whole time you've never actually wanted to divorce him.
Huh? If I didn't want to divorce him, then why would I be going almost half a year now ignoring him?
Then tell me what the hell is up with those lunch boxes he's bringing to work every day.
I'm sure that he's just making those lunches all by himself, right?
Huh? You expect me to believe that a man like him will make his own meals?
Huh? Are you kidding me, Tristan? Don't tell me you're the type of guy that thinks women belong in the kitchen.
What? What do you mean, type? That's just common sense in this world, Vicky.
What the heck? Are you seriously trying to get me to believe we still live in the 50s or something?
Huh?
I've had enough of this. Let's break up.
Excuse me?
Know now that if I get divorced by Randy, none of that money will be coming to us, right? So if I'm not able to get any of his money, I'll be screwed because I don't have a job of my own. So I think the only thing we can do now is break up with one another before somebody finds out that we're a thing and tells Randy. That way we can avoid him ever asking either of us for a settlement.
That's a good point. For some reason, I'm feeling so burnt out. Let's be done with this.
Well, if this is it, don't forget to delete all of our chat history and to make sure that you clear all photos of me from your phone, as I'll be doing the same.
I know. I'll take care of all that.
Goodbye, Tristan.
Bye. Yo, Randy Sampson. You're calling me by my full name again? Why are you asking for a settlement from me of all people? That's what I ask. It's only you, right? Huh? Don't start playing dumb with me and acting like you have no memory of what happened. I've got myself a whole ton of evidence from this past year of you going out with my wife. Huh? Tristan, I know that you've been having a relationship with my wife, Vicky, or at least you guys did have a relationship. I had a man on you guys for the longest time now, getting evidence that you both were together while I've been married to her. But of course, recently you both seem to have broken up over a fight. But did you know that I know this all started between you 2 years ago at that company barbecue? Well, it's sad to see the relationship you both cherished so much coming to an end a little while back. You even know about all of that? So now you should be well aware of why I'm asking for a settlement from you now, right? And I have myself a lawyer overlooking all of this for me. So if you have any questions regarding any of the legal parts to this, or just want to talk, you can contact my lawyer about it later. Crap. The only reason I left her was thinking that you'd never be able to find anything out about us if we split up. But you went and found out anyway. And don't feel as though I found out about this just with the help of one other man. I also had the company inform me at some point that they noticed you outside with another woman a lot of the time that looked like my wife, as well as told me about how when you went to New York, you brought her along with you. What? And don't think that this isn't on the minds of our higher-ups now, because they are thinking at this moment of what to do about you knowing that you've been having an affair with another employee's wife. But how did they...
Hey, Randy? Do you think the two of us can get to making up over everything? Because, well, it's been almost a year now, and you and I have never talked. This whole time. And listen, I have a very good reason as to why I was ignoring you for the whole year like this. When your mother passed away back then, I was very confused on how I should handle things around you. And it kind of left me thinking I should just let you heal on your own. I was going to start talking to you again, but I really had no clue how to approach you, and soon time just continued to slip past me, and now here we are.
Wow, I'm getting texts from a pretty rare person.
Hey, Randy!
It's been close to a year now since you started to ignore me, huh? I'd assumed you were finally starting to talk with me again after noticing the divorce papers on the coffee table, but I guess that wasn't the case.
Huh? You're lying. Divorce papers? Why?
You don't have a clue?
Well, that's why I'm asking you to tell me why.
Well, if you're back to talking to me, then that really does prove that you're no longer with Tristan anymore. Well, I was already made well aware of the fact that after your little trip to New York City, the two of you broke up.
You found out about that?
I sure as hell did.
Why, though? We made sure to take all the appropriate steps to making sure you wouldn't find out.
Well, I actually started to find out about you two 6 months ago. There was that day that Tristan had come home from work because he wasn't feeling too well, and he was picked up by none other than you, and you helped him walk out to his car.
Huh?
And since that day, I have had someone privately investigating the two of you and pulling in loads of evidence for me.
That's...
And because of that, I've left you the divorce papers on the coffee table, as well as a business card from my lawyer, who will be taking care of things for me. Go ahead and give him a call when you get the chance. He'll explain everything about the settlement I plan to get from you to you.
Wait, Randy. We should talk face to face about something like this. We haven't even spoken to one another for a whole year, so I think it's time we see each other again and talk this over. So please, come and talk this through with me in person. We need to talk.
Well, that's not going to work, because right now I'm actually in England.
England?
I only just arrived here yesterday.
Why are you all the way over in England?
Well, I was chosen by the company to go work overseas, and I'll probably be over here for the next 10 years or so, helping start up a new department for them.
Huh? Does this have to do with what Tristan was telling me about? He said there was this whole reshuffling of employees within your guys' company.
That's right. Well, about all of that, I was a part of setting it all up and then was later chosen by my manager to be the one to go overseas for a while. Really, I had been wanting to finish all of this divorce crap before going to England, but... well, the company told me I had to go this week and that they couldn't wait any longer for me to deal with you. At least I was able to celebrate my mom's one-year memorial service.
Actually, now that you mention it, your mom's memorial...
It happened about 10 days ago,
Well, I never heard anything about it.
and that was on purpose. I never wanted to tell you about when it'll be,
Why not?
because I found out how you had been wanting to get the money in her will for me when you were dating Tristan, and I'm sure you still want some of it now. And so I didn't want you at her memorial if that's the only reason you wanted to be there.
You knew about that as well?
And now that I've explained all I needed to explain, you can contact my lawyer about the rest.
Huh? Wait.
Goodbye forever.
What? But this is... No, I don't want you to go. Come back here for me. I'm going to be screwed, Randy. I've only ever been a housewife all my life, and now you're wanting to ask for me to give you money and leave you? Randy!
After that, I left everything in the hands of my lawyer, and he was able to get the divorce to go through. Also, I told both Vicky and Tristan that they could pay the settlement off in small amounts instead of one lump payment, but they both seemed to not want anything to do with me anymore, and so they both paid me in one single payment. I'm not sure where either of them got that kind of money to pay me like that, but I'm just glad they paid me for their dues and are now free to piss off. Now, as for those two, we can start with Tristan. He ended up being fired from the company after what he'd done with Vicky, as well as brought her with him on that business trip. And not only that, but both of his parents also cut ties to him when they found out what he had been doing. So as of right now, he's working at a fast food joint, putting pretty much everything he earns into paying off the loans he took out to pay me. And then there's Vicky. Right now, she's living the nightlife, standing on street corners in some of the most sluttiest of costumes, getting men to pay her a pretty penny for their pleasure. She's really made a name for herself among those men, being one of the best of her kind. But I have to hand it to her. She's doing a lot better by herself than I thought she could. And this whole time, she hasn't once tried to call or text me about any of it. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Iris? You are once again locked in your room and haven't come out yet today. What are you doing in there? You are far too old now to be locked in your room like that all day, so quit it. Good morning, Joanna. I'm not sure how many times I've told you this already, but I do my work from home. So can you stop trying to accuse me of being locked in my room all day and understand what I've been telling you? I understand that you want to tell me you work remotely, but I've never heard of anyone your age working from home like you say you are before. What does that mean? Well, people your age always go to work every day and do so by car or by bus. And you guys are all used to being at work so that you can communicate with everyone in person since you all don't know how to use phones or computers very well. And you guys are also always willing to work overtime and then like to come home really late at night after everyone else has already eaten dinner, right? So you really expect me to believe that someone who's so used to working like that is now able to work from home all of a sudden? Aren't you a bit embarrassed to be saying something like that to me? I get that you want to feel young, but come on. How would you even be able to work from home anyway, when that job of yours isn't even a big deal? Well, Joanna, you should also be able to understand that not everyone from my generation is the same, and that means that some of us actually like to work from our computers and phones instead of having to commute to work every day. Yeah, this conversation has gone on far too long now, so let's end it here. I really hate having to talk to the elderly for long periods of time, so if you don't want me to hate you, stop talking already. Joanna. Also tonight, I'll be taking Kyle with me back to my parents' house. Huh? Again? I've been kind enough to live with you here in your house for a long time, so it should be all right for me to go to my parents' house every so often, right? You're the one being kind enough? Living here with me? I am! Your second oldest son and his wife are living overseas right now, and since they can't be here to pay for you, we've had to step in and live with you as your support. Huh? And so what I'm saying is that you have no right questioning me about going back to my parents' house for a little bit with Kyle, because we're the ones supporting you. I never questioned you going back to their house, though. Are you sure? Well, if you weren't, then stop talking to me already and let me leave in peace.
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sure that you've already heard this from Joanna, but...
Right, I just heard that from her not too long ago. Listen, are you sure it's not causing you too much stress to always have to go over there to see her parents again and again? At this point, it's been every week now that you both go back to her parents' house.
Right. I've asked her about what's been going on as well, but I think she's gotten the wrong idea when I asked her about it. Well, I'm not sure what she's thought about it, but to me it seems she feels nothing by me questioning her.
Well, if they're not that upset with you both always going over there or with what's going on here, then I guess we don't have to worry either. But if you have something more to say about all of this, then you should tell her right to her face, without trying to beat around the bush.
Something more to say?
You've always had to go to her parents' house every single week, and by this point you haven't had a chance to relax because of it, right? And when it comes to how busy your life is, you just had to leave that company because it went bankrupt and are now back out looking for work again. There's way too much going on in your life now for you to have to be going to their house every week, wasting away time you could be spending on yourself. I'm sure that you don't want to say anything else to Joanna about this because you feel that it might hurt her feelings. But if you keep holding back your own feelings like that, you're going to explode one day.
You make a good point. You've had to deal with a lot of things like this in your day, so I think listening to what you've had to say is the best option for me. I'll take a moment to think all I want to do, though, and then make my move.
Joanna, could it be that this weekend you're going to your parents' house once again? Yep, and not just back to their house, but this time we're going on vacation. You're all going on vacation? It'll be me, my parents, and also Kyle and his family going on a sightseeing trip. Is that so? All of the family, then? What's wrong? Nothing is wrong with that. It's just that I have work to get done, so, you know. Here we go again with this. Trying to make it seem as though you're actually doing work in that room of yours when you're too old to even operate a computer.
Mom, I'm so sorry about that. Can you please show me to another job?
Hi, Kyle? This is really out of nowhere. What you're saying is that the company I showed you to try and land you a job will no longer be taking you?
Well, about that, they allowed me to get all the way to the last interview before telling me that they no longer had the position open. Well, don't worry about it now. I just need you to help me find another company that you can show me to, and I don't care what kind of work it is. Please.
Well, if you want my help again, then you're first going to have to talk with your wife about this.
I don't think I want her knowing about any of this, so please just help me.
Are you sure? Then let me go and talk with one of my friends who runs a cafe and see if she'd be willing to hire you. You know where to go if she wants an interview, right?
I'm assuming this is your friend with the old-fashioned cafe just to the right of the library?
That's the one. Come meet me there in an hour or so that you can talk with her.
Will do. Mom, I'm so sorry that I had to ask you for all of that so quickly.
Don't worry about it. It helped me that you came and talked to her when I went.
Well, about that, hearing that there were already plans being put in place, even before I went there, really shocked me.
Well, ever since your dad passed away, there have been plans of having you go there for a very long time. I had been wanting to talk with you about it for a while now, but after his death, time just began to slip away from me, and I never got around to talking with you.
Ah, I see. I guess back in the day when I had lost my first job and came running back to live with you guys, you had already been trying to plan new options for me so that I had a chance at finding work again. But I'm glad that you guys did all of that for me because it's helped me out a lot with trying to find work that works for me, so I'm thankful, Mom.
That's great to hear from you. I'm also glad that you don't mind that we went ahead and planned a lot of things out for you, just in case you needed the help.
Well, listen, I was not going to go down a path that Joanna wanted me going down, so I'm happy that you guys were always there for me.
Iris, I would like for us all to start thinking about Kyle and I moving out of this house. Well, this is something I never expected from you. Well, can you listen to what I have to say? Kyle has found himself a new job and everything, so I don't have to worry about our lives anymore. But having to stay in a house with a grandma that doesn't have a job of her own is the least attractive life, and I don't want to live it. And so because of that, I'm going to be taking Kyle with me. And we're going to go and live with my parents at their house where they're at least getting Social Security. So then what's going to happen with me once you guys move out of this house? Well, hold on one second. I actually plan on having you leave the house now. You want me to leave the house now? Me? That's right. My parents' house is too small for all of us to live together comfortably there, so I'm going to take over your house and have them move in with us. And you'll only be in the way of that if you stay, so leave. Does this mean that you plan to have your parents come to my house to live here and want me to leave? I just said that, right? Then what am I going to do once I'm tossed out of my own house? Well, let's think about that. You mean nothing to us anymore, so we'll just have you sent to the cheapest old person's home we can find and leave you there. Well, I don't have any issues with myself that require someone to watch over me, though. Huh? I've made sure to prepare myself for a future where I don't have to ask my kids or anyone else to take care of me. So you don't have to be worried about sending me to any old person's home. Oh, well, is that so? Seems that both you and I are starting to be on the same page for once, finally. Well, now that I don't even have to pay for you to go to an old person's home, I'll consider myself lucky. And as for the $4,000 that I've been giving you and your husband every month, I'm going to stop doing that, okay? Huh? I'm sure that from now on your parents will be willing to pay for your guys' living expenses every month, right? I'm finally going to get some weight off my back for a change. Huh? What the heck are you going on about? It's been both Kyle and I that have been the ones taking care of you and all your needs. So what makes you believe that I'm going to believe that you've been giving us $4,000 a month? I see. So you never knew a thing about what I've been doing then, huh? Huh? You're the one that has no clue about the things we've been doing for you. You thinking that you've been giving us $4,000 a month is a load of crap, Iris. Are you starting to lose your mind or something with age now? Well, you told us you no longer need our help, or anyone's help for that matter, so don't come crying to us now. Then let me ask you this. Did you know that the only reason I allowed you to come and live in this house with me is because your husband, Kyle, lost his job after the company went bankrupt? And he agreed to only stay here until he saved up enough money to move back out? And that this whole time he's been working different jobs and such, you've just sat around doing nothing as his supposed housewife? You should be aware of all of that already, right? Even though Kyle has had a few jobs since you both moved in with me, he's lost them as well and hasn't saved up much of anything. So how could you both be paying to support me as well as yourselves when you are both unemployed? I just assumed that he's been using up the money he was given when that last company fell apart, as well as any savings he had from when he was younger to support us all. I understand that he got a pretty decent amount of money when everyone was laid off after the company fell, and he's had some money from when he was single still in his savings, but all of that has been used up. Huh? Then who's been paying for us all to live here? Well, the only other person that's been living in the house has been me. And yes, I've been the one paying for you guys. And I haven't only been paying for you guys, but also that $1,000 you send your parents every month as well, since you get that money from me. Huh? That's definitely a lie. You are just a lost cause of an elderly woman that never leaves her room. I've made it clear many times now that I do all the work I have to do from home, yet you've chosen to never believe what I've been saying. So if you're still not going to believe what I'm saying, how about you go have a chat with Kyle about all of this? I'm sure that he'll let you know about everything that's been going on with all of us. Kyle? Has all the money that we've been living off of each month and all the money that we've been giving my parents all been coming from your mother? And when I say money, I'm talking about the $4,000 she talked about. What the hell is your mother doing to gain that kind of money every month?
Well, my mom works from home helping manage a company that works in making all different styles of dresses.
What? Dresses?
Also, she happens to make a lot of money from the houses she rents out.
Huh? She rents out houses as well?
Well, back when my dad was around, he worked in the real estate business and happened to have a lot of properties that he'd buy and then sell. But when he passed away, a lot of those properties that he had were given to my mom, and she chose to furnish them up and rent them out to all sorts of different clients.
Are you kidding me?
So that's why when you ask for mom to leave this house to allow your parents to move in with us, you'll be getting rid of the one person that's been paying for the place. In other words, we'll have to start paying rent.
What rent?
Well, my mom is the owner of the house still, and she's not just going to let us all live in here for free when she goes. And from what I've learned, based off where this house is located, we'll have to pay around $1,500 a month to rent this place.
What?
Whose house did you think this was?
I guess I never thought about all of it that much.
What the heck is up with that? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore now. I have some things I'd like to talk with you about as well now.
Huh? What do you want to talk about?
You and I are divorced now.
What? What the actual hell are you talking about? Why would you say something like that to me?
A while back, you threatened to divorce me if I ever said anything about you always wanting to go back to your parents' house and such. And along with those threats, you prepared some divorce paperwork to make sure that I knew you were serious. And since I finally started to question what you've been doing, I decided it was time I handed in those papers for you to the city office.
What the hell did you do that for? If you do really plan to leave me for good, then I'm going to get some money out of you.
You married me without ever telling me about the debt you're in right now.
Huh?
That $1,000 a month you say you've been giving to your parents has actually been going towards paying off said debt.
Huh?
And to try and keep me from ever figuring that one out, you went and had the money sent to your parents and then had them use that money to pay off your debt. That way, I would just think that the money was going to your parents to use and not to some loan shark that you're trying to run from.
Huh. Why do you know about all of that?
I figured this all out when we went on vacation. We were all staying at that hotel. You asked for me to hand over that $1,000 to your parents in person so that I didn't even have to bother sending it to their supposed bank account. However, after handing you my wallet to get the cash out to give to them, I went outside the room saying that I was going to buy a drink. But really, as the door was about to close, I heard you say something about some debt. And so I kept my ears pressed against the door and heard you all talking about how you wanted them to send that to the loan shark that night.
You heard me say that to them? You were still outside the door?
I was, and I heard everything, clear as day. And that's why things are the way they are now.
Listening in on our private conversation is messed up.
And your reason for being in debt with a loan shark in the first place is pretty messed up to me.
Huh? You knew about all of that as well?
You apparently cheated on me with another man while we were dating. And when his wife found out, she made you pay a settlement out of court, right?
Why do you know about all of that stuff as well? I actually hate that you found out about what happened back then.
This is what you get for being a whore when we dated. After learning about all of that crap, I no longer want to apologize for looking into all this behind your back. So think whatever you want about me, but know that I'm not the one who's going to suffer for their bad decisions.
That was all in the past, though. Can't you please forgive me for all of that?
Of course all of that happened when you and I were only dating. So there's not much I can do about it now that we're married. But you hiding all your debt from me before we got married and then using my mom's money to pay said debt off is another thing.
Well, even if you don't like that I used her money to pay off my debt, I don't have any money of my own, so I had to use hers.
Well, normally when someone has debt that they want to keep a secret, and pay off, they will get a job of their own and pay with their own money, right?
Huh? You think I should work?
I never actually thought that you were brain dead to the point you thought everyone else should be working besides yourself.
Kyle?
After this, I'd like you to talk with my lawyer about any other things you might have to say. Also, I was able to find myself a new job, and I'll be moving closer to that job soon.
Huh?
I'll be working for a cafe that is owned by one of my mom's friends, and will help me get back on my own feet and back to making money. I'm not going to tell you where the place is, but I'll say that it's very, very far away from the current town we live in.
But if you go and leave me here all by myself, then what am I going to do to survive? I still have a lot of money that I need to pay. How am I going to pay all of that off?
Don't ask your ex-husband a question like that, you freak.
Huh?
Now, I can see that if I continue talking to you, the same things will have to be said over and over again. So I'd like to end our conversation here. And as for what my mom wants me to say to you, you have until the end of the month to stay in that house. But once the month is over, you need to get lost.
Huh? Hold on a second. My parents are expecting to come and live in this house with us soon, so they've gone and ended their lease and everything to move here. If we're not able to live here any longer, we're not going to have a house to go back to. I'm being serious when I ask you what I should be doing right now. Hey, Kyle, can you at least stay together with me until I'm able to pay off all that debt? Kyle! What is this? Kyle, listen to me. What is going on right now over here? Everything that was in this house, like those beds and the dinner table from overseas and the shelves and the chairs and even the fridge and oven. The dishware and everything, it's all gone now. I was thinking that I could at least start selling a lot of that furniture and stuff to start paying off more of my debt, but now it's all gone and I don't know where to find it all. Come back here and save me, Kyle. For some reason, it seems that Joanna never even noticed that both Kyle and I had left the house and were no longer coming back there before she got home. She then proceeded to stand outside the house screaming at the top of her lungs that I stole all of her things, and that I should be punished for it, but nobody seemed to care. Since she was no longer married to my son anymore, I finally went ahead and gave him $6,000 that was left over from the money I received after his father died, and only did so then so that Joanna couldn't take any of it. Anyway, now that there is no house for Joanna to go home to, and there's no money coming from Kyle in the divorce, the only thing she's left with is her remaining debt. She tried to go back to the new house that her parents started to rent, but when she arrived asking them to let her move in, she turned around to see two men that the loan shark had sent after her. They grabbed her by both her arms and took her away in their blacked-out truck. As of right now, she's working for that loan shark to make back every penny that she borrowed from him, and she will not be able to leave his side until it's all paid off. Kyle made the right choice divorcing her when he did, because had he not, he might have ended up right next to her, working long and degrading days just to pay for her mistakes. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Yo, John! How many years has it been since you left home?
Well, who cares how many years it's been? I've no intention of coming back.
You act all tough, but don't you still live in the same city? You actually want me to come and visit you, right? Should I come over?
What are you talking about?
You probably meant to keep your address a secret, but I found out where you live!
Oh, okay. I already knew that you know the apartment I live in.
Huh?
But neither you or Mom and Dad have any interest in me, do you?
What makes you say that?
Mom and Dad didn't care about me from the start. And you seem to have been satisfied when she stole my ex-girlfriend.
Ah, so that's how you see things.
I'll just move again if you stop bothering me.
Oh, I see. I get it. So that's how it is.
What is it? You're creeping me out.
What if I told you that I was actually bothering you in a way you wouldn't notice? And that it's bringing you a lot of misfortune?
Huh?
Well, I guess there's no use in trying to keep it a secret, so I'll tell you.
What is it?
You haven't noticed that I stole your girl again, haven't you?
Huh?
Not only that, but it seems that I accidentally impregnated your wife!
What are you talking about? What is this about my wife?
I'm saying that your wife is now pregnant with my child, which means that it's time for you to get divorced.
Oh, is that so? I'm just gonna ask, but how many days has it been since she got pregnant?
Last time she told me she said it was 11 weeks. Well, get divorced as soon as possible, all right? I can't believe I was able to steal your girl a second time. You're pathetic, Jack.
I see. You know, you should really not get too excited with your jokes, Mark.
What?
Bye then.
Wait a minute! I wasn't joking! I was being serious!
Hi, Scarlett. I just checked into the hotel.
Hi, John. You must be tired.
Can I ask you a weird question? Sorry if it makes you uncomfortable.
What is it?
Have you met my brother Mark before?
What? Your brother? No, I never have.
That's what I thought. There's no way you two have met before.
Why'd you ask?
You see, I got a text from my brother this afternoon that will probably make you really disgusted.
A text that would make me really disgusted? What was it about?
It's probably fastest if I just show you our conversation. But I'm worried that you'll get really upset.
Just give me a summary, will you?
He told me to divorce you since you're pregnant with his child.
Huh?
You said something about you being pregnant for 11 weeks now.
No, there's already no way it can be true then.
Right. Which is why I don't believe a word he said. I just thought I should tell you about it.
Got it. Thanks. I'll stay at home until you get home tomorrow just to be safe. I'll probably be glued to the laptop since I'm so busy with work anyways. And I already have enough food, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yep, that's probably a good idea.
And? What are you going to do about your brother?
Well, it depends on what my brother decides to do from now on. I'll need to wait and see what he does first.
Got it. Tell me if I can help.
Sorry for causing trouble. That's my problem, not yours.
It's fine. I knew the situation you were in when we got married. So, no need to worry about it.
Thanks.
What's up, John? You prepared to divorce her yet? I mean, it's not like you have a choice. Your wife's pregnant with my child.
There's something I want to ask you, Mark.
What?
Are you employed right now?
Huh? What's this about suddenly?
You're gonna have a child. You'll need money to raise him or her. You'll need to be able to support your family once you're a father.
What? What are you worrying about? Your wife's rich, so there's no need for me to work.
I mean, I guess it's possible for the wife to earn money and for you to do the housework.
That's not what I meant. I've never done any housework in my life. But it's fine if I don't work.
That's ridiculous.
That's the kind of marriage I wanted. Which is why I decided to steal your wife after I found out about her.
What do you mean?
Your wife inherited a huge amount of money, right?
What, inheritance?
Which is why I came up with the perfect plan to steal your wife. So that's how it is. I really am sorry for you. Now the $1 million of inheritance is mine!
I have one more question.
What is it? You really don't give up, do you?
You keep talking about my wife, so you must know her name, right?
Of course I know her name! It just feels better to call her your wife. It gives me this sense of superiority.
Then what's her name?
Amanda!
Huh? Amanda?
I answered your question. You happy now? Just get divorced already, will you? Hey, John! It's already been 1 week. How's the progress going with the divorce? When's it going to happen?
Why do you keep talking about me and my wife divorcing?
Huh?
Even if she is pregnant with your child, you're still rushing things too much. Is there some other reason?
Not really.
I was just kidding. I already guessed this is what was going on from what I found out in the past week. Dad's company is on the brink of bankruptcy, right?
What?
You knew that at this rate, you guys wouldn't be able to support yourselves anymore. That's when you found out from somewhere about my marriage and heard that my wife was the daughter of a wealthy entrepreneur who inherited a huge amount of money after her parents' death. You first broke up with my ex-girlfriend Kate, and then came up with a plan to steal my wife.
You found out that much?
I was able to contact Kate through a friend. She told me everything.
That bitch! Yes, what you're saying is true. But you're too late, aren't you? Amanda already wanted to divorce you when we first met. Getting divorced was only a matter of time.
Oh, is that so?
Amanda said that if I helped her to get divorced with you, she would use some of her money to help Dad's company. Which means that she agreed to me stealing you from her and making her pregnant.
I see. So you were depending on the inheritance money you planned to steal, huh? But isn't that a bit strange? My wife's parents are currently in Hawaii on vacation.
What?
I just talked to them yesterday through video chat. They're still pretty healthy, so it's a bit too early to be talking about inheritance money.
What are you talking about? But Amanda's...
My wife isn't named Amanda.
What?
My wife's been living abroad since she was 12 due to her parents' work. I met her 2 years ago while I was abroad on work. She only returned to Japan 2 weeks ago for our marriage, which is why it's impossible for her to have been pregnant for 11 weeks, or for you to have even met her.
Hold on. I don't understand what you're saying. Then Amanda is...
Amanda is Kate's younger sister.
Huh?
Apparently Amanda was the kind of person who wanted to steal everything that was her sister's, including her sister's boyfriend. While I was going out with Kate, she would always attempt to seduce me and steal me from her sister.
What?
But then you stole Kate from me and we broke up, so Amanda left too. My life suddenly became so much more peaceful.
Huh? How could your life have been peaceful after your girlfriend got stolen?
That's how much Amanda was a bother to me. After she lost interest in me, she started waiting for a chance to steal her sister's new boyfriend, you. She found out about Dad's company being on the brink of bankruptcy and made up this story about her being my wife who inherited a fortune from her parents. She knew you would try and steal her from me.
So the inheritance is...
She made it all up. The fact that I actually got married recently was a coincidence. You could have easily checked the family registry and found out that Amanda was lying, but you didn't. Amanda might even be lying about her being pregnant, so you should really make sure.
What?
Seems like we've cleared the misunderstanding, so I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Hey, wait!
Oh, one more thing. For some reason, you think that I still live in the same city, but I found a new job and moved someplace else right after you stole Kate from me 3 years ago.
What?
Someone else is in my old apartment now, so don't bother your neighbors by trying to barge in or something.
Wait! You didn't tell me your wife's name yet!
I won't tell you.
Then tell me your new address!
No thanks.
What?
Bye! I told him not to do it, but it seems Mark tried to barge into the apartment room I used to live in. There was no nameplate on the front, but apparently this was because the new resident didn't want to have to deal with door salesmen. My nuisance of a brother kept knocking on the door and shouting my name, saying that Amanda lied about being pregnant and that she left him. He said to hand over my real wife instead. Obviously, he was caught by the police. He got off with a warning, but apparently the news of him being arrested was enough to bring down Dad's company. Later on, the whole family started barraging me with texts telling to give them money, since now they were in debt. That's when I decided to change my phone number.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.